With so much content out there, how do you know what to listen to?
Tune in to hear from people and culture experts.
And our thoughts on what's trending in the workforce.
All this in 5 minutes or less. I'm Eric Ryu.
I'm Heather Larson, and this is The Latest.
Let's go.
We're back with season 2 of The Latest. It's good to see you. We missed you. Your feeds have been filled with recession worries, gratitude day, and the $1 million question, how do you create culture in a hybrid environment? With season 2, we're changing things up a little bit. As you can see, we have a guest. We're going to focus on experts in the people and culture space. So let's go.
I want to introduce Teela Jackson, VP of HR Search for an HR recruiting firm called Talent Connections. Teela, we want to pick your brain about what you're seeing, especially under the backdrop of the Great Resignation. Everyone is talking about it and turning to HR to solve the problem, but HR departments aren't immune to turnover themselves. So we're curious, what's the latest in HR talent acquisition?
Well, I think we should start by saying, the spotlight is really on HR. Coming out of this pandemic, the spotlight was just getting brighter and brighter, and now the focus on HR talent acquisition is high. The market frenzy has been crazy since Q3 of 2020, and it has not stopped. Voluntary HR turnover is the highest we've ever seen it in our lifetimes, which is adding fuel to the market fire, I would say.
That's interesting. So when you think about that voluntary turnover, what roles are really in demand in the people and culture space right now?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's all over the board, and the trends move. So HR professionals in general are in high demand, especially at the business partner, the director, the executive levels. The specialty functions are also experiencing an increase in demand. Out of the gate, that was the biggest areas that we saw were talent and chief level or head of HR roles. And now we're coming down the pike to compensation, benefits, and systems being in high demand in this sort of year-end space for 2022 and going into 23.
Awesome. Any trends that you're seeing from employers and what they're asking their people and culture leaders for?
Yeah, overall in this market, there's been some emerging trends that have come out of the pandemic, right? Like remote workforce culture. The remote culture is a key thing that's taken sort of center stage. And how do we create culture while being remote employees? Realigning reward systems is at peak right now. Companies are having to look at creative ways of compensating employees and also being competitive in this market. And most of all, integrating change while maintaining engagement and retention. Integrating change is a constant. People have always said that, but now coming into this new normal, change is the constant. And there's a focus also on DE&I, so diversity, equity, and inclusion, especially on the equity and inclusion aspect of it. That's what sort of has naturally rolled into the role of an HR professional.
Totally agree. So compensation roles are in demand, equity is a focus. Those will hopefully get aligned and we'll see some real movement. What advice would you give HR professionals trying to take their career to the next level?
Yeah, this market is different. The HR professional of the past is gone. It's a figment of our imaginations. We have had to move into this true space of being people and culture leaders. HR professionals are drivers of change. One thing that we have been a little averse to in our historic nature, and now that's something that's becoming very normal for us, is just having that change appetite, being a problem solver, so creating solutions for business leaders and your peers and employees, embracing that DE&I piece again, looking at the value of just the collective community, the collective workforce, and what we all bring to the table. And lastly, as my mom would say, it takes a village.
I love that. The value of the collective community. That's great. And I heard you say change a lot. And that's what we're about to go into, is a season of change. So HR leaders are ever important now.
Well, we appreciate your insight. I'm sure the audience does too. We will tag Teela in the show notes, so feel free to reach out to her. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for having me.